is criticizing international organizations and remaining silent on the actions of Biren Singh government for state-sponsored violence, it is a very sad thing, and it's a tragedy for the state government.
I'm not defending Rami here.
I'm also not defending anyone, but this is the fact.
We are in a democracy. We can criticize the chief minister, deputy chief minister, all the ministers, but it's a different issue when you are sending petition to European Union, when petitions are sent to the European members of parliament. It boils down to different things. Rami, I want you to take that question. There's a G20 thing happening, and it's like they're on the platter.
Karthikeya, first of all, I have to say, thankfully, I don't need anybody to defend me. I'm very capable of defending myself.
I'm saying I'm not defending you, Rami. I said I'm not defending you.
I know. This is for Dr. Goethe. I don't think anybody needs to defend anybody here. But on a serious note, I think what needs to be defended is the territorial integrity of the state. Now, we can keep harping about and saying that it is only in our imagination. Madam, if it was only in our imagination, people would be able to cross that line of border, this imaginative line of border. Unfortunately, we are not able to cross it. Therefore, it is not in the imagination. This has percolated down to something more evil, which is an actual line of control, which is even scary to talk about, because this is not the kind of divisions we should have, And like I said earlier on, that, as much as, Kuki should feel safe enough in staying in the valley, the same way, the Meiteis should be able to move around wherever. Why should they be confined to a valley? But I hear myself saying this. I don't hear you saying this. Number two, at a time like G20, do we really need to embarrass our nation? Haven't we embarrassed our nation enough by calling on international organizations and defending them on national media, saying that I have an objection with them? Of course I have an objection with them. When you have not studied this region, when you don't know anything about the people, when you're superimposing false binaries, forget me, you should have an objection with it. When they don't know their subject matter, so many people have have a problem with a non-Manipuri talking about Manipur, but you don't have a problem with an international organization talking about Manipur. I think that is hypocrisy. And as for this country going through one of its most important moments as a global leader through this G20, wherein we are putting our best foot forward, do we need to show the people who have come here as our guests that we don't have control over our own state affairs? Yes, surely this conflict, needs accountability. I've never said that we must not ask for accountability, whether it's from the state government or if it's from civil society. I have laid responsibility equally on both shoulders. So I don't think that accusation of yours that I'm not asking for accountability from the state government stands, because that is what I've asked for from day one. But again, I don't hear you asking for accountability from your community. But let's not make this about you or me. Let's make this about the country. Let's make this about the territorial integrity of this country. Let's make it about the reputation of this country, which is very well equipped to manage its own affairs. I don't see any community from Manipur interfering in international events. So why do we accept? Are you then accepting that you are not capable as a community to find solutions for yourself, that you are looking out for external agencies to do that? That is not really the act of a responsible citizen. And I would never do that. And I don't think much of this nation appreciates that. Therefore, for the sake at least of better narratives being built, I think these are dialogues that we must cast away immediately.
When the central government and the state government are not listening, people will look for some relief, right? Right or wrong? So if the international organization having a ground reporting and having their own authenticity of fact checking and verifying, so if they are on the ground, so what is the problem in listening to them if the central and the state government are not listening? So this is my point which I wanted to make. And peace cannot be secured by moving tens of thousands of armed people to the locality of other community. like the action of Konkomi is a clear act of treason against the country. Why no FIR is ordered against them? I mean, there can be many things, you know, if you say
today I just wanted to locate my debate. You know, Monday I located on that Editors Guild of India. I took a position on it. I said FIR nahi hogi, but report theek nahi guru. United Nations वाली report को मैंने कहा boss, they are creating a false narrative against India. ये गलत है. Today this report is ये line of control गलत है. It should be criticized. नहीं हो सकता इस्तेमाल. Rami, quickly.
Karthikeya, first of all, I don't think international organizations have any ground report. I think they reported sitting from, you know, their anthropological armchairs where they were judging us.
Drawing room report थी. Drawing room report है.
Drawing room report, and that kind of report, you know, would really not be accepted from anybody in any established institution or by any established academician. Having said that, the Editors Guild also only had 3 days. All right, and I don't know what their background is, whether they understand Manipur, whether they understand the nuances, but obviously it was a shoddy job. You know, I disagree with you in terms of the fact that I think when things are this sensitive, I think, you know, journalists like this who come with vested interests have a right to be shown the mirror because this is national security at stake. We are not talking about any, any other state. We are talking about a state that lies on a very crucial boundary, and any sort of conflict on that not just hurts the state but hurts all of the country, which is where my interest comes in. But having said that, again, my point is that as much as we want to minimize this sort of usage and we want to say that one community feels scared of the other, I mean, you know, honestly, this is no way forward. At sometimes, you know, the usage of the word brother is used that, you know, oh, the Metis should behave like elder brothers. The other times it is said, oh, you know, we can't have them anywhere close to us. There has to be some sort of geographical line. You know, so this sort of hypocrisy is not going to help us move